Hello everyone, welcome to the Chef Prepper channel. My name is Les, and if this is your first time here, I would certainly like to say thank you for joining us and welcome. If you are returning, welcome and thank you. Today we're going to do another cooking video, and this time, I don't know if you can make it out there, but you saw from the picture a little bit earlier, I got a Sterno stove. My daughter got me this for my birthday a few days ago. And so we're going to try to fix macaroni and cheese. So why this video? Why doing this? I mean, this is a channel supposed to be primarily for preppers to get prepared for grid down, off grid, or grid down scenarios after a big SHTF event. Well, sometimes, more than likely, it's going to be cold outside, it's going to be raining outside, it's going to be doing both. You can't get outside to cook a meal. So today we're going to do an indoor meal. This is a regular stovetop, electric stovetop, but we're not going to use it as such. We're going to use the Sterno stove. So this would be a practice session for me, for us here in our house, for the grid down situation, cooking indoors safely with a Sterno stove, and that is not the Sterno fuel. This is Quick Flame, and I think that is the Dollar Tree brand. So stick with me, going to get busy, and if all goes well, I haven't used the Sterno stove with this to cook on before. This is my first time of doing this, so it might work. I think it will, but it might not. If it does or it doesn't, it'll be a lesson learned. So here we go. Be right back. For those of you who might not be familiar with Sterno stove, I already have it set up, but it folds flat, has a wind guard, which we don't need today, but it's still built into the stove. We don't need it today because we're indoors. Your fuel has a little shelf made in there. Set it in there, light it, put your pan, your skillet, your whatever it is you're going to use, and voila, you got a miniature stove. I have plans of doing a much more bigger review, a much better review than I just did on the Sterno stove, looking at many different things that you can use it for as far as your storage foods. So here goes number one. Okay, the mac and cheese. Today we're going to do just what it says on here. I don't know if you can see that or not. I think you can, but if not, it says boil 6 cups of water for today, since there's only me and maybe my youngest daughter who might eat some of this a little bit later when it's done. We're going to do half of what it says on here. So it'll be 3 cups of water. We're going to boil it. Then, after it's boiling, we're going to put the pasta. It says pasta. It's macaroni. We're going to put that in. Then let that go for another 7 to 10 minutes, as it says on the directions. But then we're going to drain it. Not going to rinse it. Sometimes I do rinse macaroni and cheese, but this time I'm not. I'm going to go right by the box. And after that, it says to add 1/4 cup margarine or butter. I'm going to use butter. I don't want to use plastic. And the butter I'll use will be from the store today, but we are making preparations to have our own butter long term. We haven't got there yet, so I will have to substitute store-bought butter. And then 1/4 cup milk, and the cheese that's in the packet. For the milk, I will use powdered milk that we have sitting on the shelf, mixed in water to get that. So that's our recipe. Just to recap quickly: 3 cups of water, boil, bring it to a rolling boil. We're going to put in half the packet of macaroni, boil that for 7 to 10 minutes. Going to drain it, not rinse it. Add a 1/4 cup, which for us will be like an 1/8 cup, since we're doing a half recipe, of butter. And then an 1/8 cup of milk made from our powdered milk. Mix well until smooth and creamy, and then we'll eat it. That was hard to do. Alright, I'm going to turn the lights out so you can see the fire, the flame. Can you see that? It's very hot. I'm going to go get 3 cups of water from the Berkey water filter. Be right back. Okay, I'm going to start a timer, and I'll time how long it takes that to come to a rolling boil, and when it does, I'll come back. See you then. I cannot find the lid that goes to that kettle, so I'm going to make a substitute. Can't see through it, but I'll check it. So, here we go. Okay, it's been several minutes. I don't know if you can see it. It's starting to get a few bubbles in the bottom, a little bit of steam. It's going to take a while. This is not going as fast as I thought it would. So we'll finish this recipe up as is. And then we'll work on some modifications to this stove and try to get it to where it is very resource conservative. And so while we're waiting for the water to boil, we're going to get our milk ready. And the recipe calls for 1/4 cup of milk. We're using a half recipe, so that's 1/8 of a cup of milk. That's not much. It'd be real simple just pour the milk out of a jug if you had it in the fridge, but that wouldn't be a grid down practice session now, would it? So we're going to go over to the powdered milk, and if my calculations are right, that equals out. We need 2 tablespoons of water and 1.5 tablespoons of powdered milk. So let's get that done. Okay, so there is Mrs. Chef Prepper's, some of her dry goods. There's some pickled eggs she made recently. And here is the powdered milk. And it doesn't feel like there's much in there. And so there isn't too much in there, but there is enough. There's more than what we'll need for this recipe. So, okay, since this is such a small amount, I'm actually going to put this into a empty grape juice, plastic grape juice jug, and shake it up. There's our 2 tablespoons of water, and I got the measuring cup wet before I got the dry goods. So the 2 tablespoons of water and the 1.5 tablespoon of powdered milk. And this will make our milk for the small amount that we needed. Looks like milk. And while we were working on that, our water is starting to boil. And so it took about 30 minutes, a little over 30 minutes to get that water to a boil. So now I'm going to put the mac and cheese, or the macaroni in. Putting the macaroni in, it never did come to a full rolling boil, but we're going to try it and see. And since this is the first time of trying this, we will have to modify this somewhat. And I did a little bit, and I'll show you what I did when it's finished. Anyway, we're going to check. Oh yeah, they're boiling good. We have a taste tester, a guest taste tester. I want to say hi. All right. In a few minutes, she's going to let us know if this was worthwhile, because she does love macaroni and cheese. Okay, I'm going to take them off of here, strain them, put the butter, cheese and so forth in it, mix it up, and see how it works, how it worked. Gotta move, I gotta get to the sink. Cheese. Powdered milk, which is no longer powdered. And the butter. Looking good. Just waiting for the butter to melt. Just for comparison, there's what they started as, and there's what they turned out to be. That's where all the water went. Oh my gosh, I threw the, oops, mistake. Oh well. If you have a crunchy one, it's one of those. Are you ready? Miss Taste Tester? The taste tester is ready. So we'll give her enough to taste, and then she can have the rest for supper if she wants. Get one of Mama's spoons or forks. Spoon or fork. And here we go. Well, thumbs up or thumbs... Hey, she says thumbs up. All right. I guess it was a success. Is it hot? Too hot? Just right? All right. All right, folks. That was the Sterno Stove. We made macaroni and cheese on it with the Dollar Tree brand fuel. It wasn't a real good test for both because right when I was just getting ready to put the macaroni in, at first I had to stop, turn everything off, run an errand, then come back and start all over. So I had to reheat the water, and it took a long time, so I used more of the fuel. But anyway, we did finally get it done. We will try more recipes with the Sterno Stove. And I told you I had to modify it a little bit. I'll show you what that was, because having to restart it from scratch basically. Ouch. I had to put the fuel container a little higher because it's about 2.5 inches or so below the grill, so I had to raise it up to get it finished. So we'll do another test, or not a test, we'll cook several recipes because I think the Sterno Stove is a good alternative cooking method when you don't want to go outside and cook and you can't use the electric range and your natural gas stoves and so forth after the big event. So this has been fun for us. The macaroni apparently is pretty good, and so we will do more. We'll try macaroni and cheese different ways also because hey, everybody likes macaroni and cheese. So until we see you again, thank you. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up button and the subscribe button. Till we see you again, take care.